Our tropics is going through a phase that we have seen before, exact same phase that we went through last year. I will show you right after we was talking about this big heat wave. And I know y'all dealing with a lot of heat. It is hotter than a hootenanny out there. But you do have some relief coming for the rest of this week. But I'm going to show you what's right around the corner in the tropics, because right now we have multiple waves flying at us. Now, according to the National Hurricane Center, it only takes one to do a landfall. And remember, it only takes one to ruin everything. But it only takes one to make it an above average season, which is what we're still sitting at. So what we're looking at is not only the Pacific still blowing up, and we got a lot of formation. We still got a lot of lift out there for the Pacific. But what we have is this big plume of dust that's in front of this wave that we're looking at that's going to be over here towards the Lesser Antilles around August 2nd. Now, we still have about 20% chance for that to form over here along the southeast and the northeastern Gulf. We even have an outlook for that, everyone. While we have another strong wave right behind that that's not dealing with so much dust. Now, we have dust that's going to keep coming off the coast of Africa, but at the moment, we don't have a big plume on this wave in the back. But it's going to be dealing with this dust the whole time it's traveling. But all it needs is one pocket. So for those that don't know, as soon as one of these systems comes southern enough and taps into that warmer water, and once it gets strong enough to where it's breathing out of the 850 millibar levels, the dust really won't affect it. It'll fight off the dust after that and keep on going. So I'm going to show you the latest update that we have, including the outlook of what's going on for this week and next week, and what could happen on these tropical waves, everybody. Because personally, I think we should not put our back to the tropics. I think anything can happen. I think it would be an overnight, you wake up, all of a sudden the tropics just snapped. Now, before you run to the comments, yes, National Hurricane Center don't expect anything in the next 7 days. But you got to remember, Global Tropics updates every Tuesday, everybody. So here's the latest update, and the same thing that we've been talking about on this channel here for about a week now, watching these two tropical waves. One traditional model run will show a lot of activity. The next time it'll show a weakening. That's because it's fighting the dust. And it all depends whether it travels with this dust, whether it gets stronger before it runs into dust. There's many factors at play, but anything can still happen, everybody. So here we are. We have a 20% chance over here for northeastern Gulf from the Bahamas going along the East Coast from August 6th through August 12th. So this is that first wave coming through that could do late formation that we've been talking about, and that second one that's looking a little bit better around August 10th. Now, after that, we're expecting a 20% chance in the MDR of more tropical waves. So there are going to be periods where it's fighting the dust, but it's also going to be periods of late formation where we can have problems, or strengthening early where we can also have problems, everybody. Showing still on the latest of the ensembles as we get around August 3rd. After that wave passes by the Lesser Antilles, it's been trending as it's going to be suppressed by the dust. This is the first wave, not the second one. That's showing it will start strengthening as it gets a little further away and a little further north, getting away from the dust. Showing the latest ensembles that it could come right along the coast, and a lot of these are showing it could strengthen up towards a hurricane. It wouldn't take much. All it would take about 24 hours. Rapid intensification, everybody. Showing also that the rest of these could go right up the coast. And we still have some that show it could be a fish storm as well. Now, I have some new information that I want to show you. Remember those that's been on my channel a long time. I found a way to help support feeding the homeless. And remember, I'm still trying to get a food truck and go from town to town to help this problem that is out there. There's a lot of homeless people that can't even think just because they're hungry, and it's hard to think when you're trying to think about food, everybody. So I have a way that will help keep you protected, and it looks like I need some protection as well. A pause for the cause. And our sponsor for today has 4.5 out of 5-star rating on Trustpilot, everyone. And their name is Incogni, with a great discount just for the word Weatherman. So you can take your personal data back with Incogni. Go to incogni.com/Weatherman or use the code Weatherman for 60% off of an annual plan. Now, the link will be in the description below. I will also pin this in the comments so you can get to it very easily. Let me tell you more about Incogni. And it does more than just automated removal services. It does 270 plus data broker coverage, 24/7 support plus monthly progress, so you can see everything that they've been doing to help keep you safe. So next time they have one of these big data breaches, your name will not be one at fault losing your information with Incogni. So when addresses, birth dates, even health information is exposed, you will not be part of that problem. Data plans covering up to 5 people. That's a lot. Now, the most popular plan is the unlimited plan, everyone. This is for the whole year. So you can maximize it with the unlimited tool, and it will keep you covered all year long, even custom removals. So use the word Weatherman, get 60% off of a yearly purchase. And thank you so much, Incogni, for promoting this video. Now back to the video, everyone. Now thank you so much for all those that are able to support. If you do want to support the channel, helping feed the homeless, remember links are in the description to help get some merch. 100% of it goes towards helping feed the homeless. I really want to get that food truck. So if anybody out there has a food truck that wants to help me to where I can go help feed the homeless, I'd really appreciate that as well. Now the latest on our chances for a tropical depression. Still showing when that front comes through, bringing y'all the cooler air for this week. That's something that can still form right off the coast, but it's still going to go east, northeast, getting pulled around by the high pressure. And you can see the weak chance of something to form off that first wave. So you can see the pattern we're at. We still have multiple waves that's going into the eastern Pacific, and we have multiple waves in 72 hours. This is by National Hurricane Center. In 72 hours, we have those 2 waves reaching the Lesser Antilles. Now right now it shows that this high pressure could retract back, and this could go on an angle just like this. If it retracts back more, it could become a fish storm. But if it stays in that direction, it will stay in this angle. And if it strengthens later on, it will go further into the Gulf. So we have multiple options. We are literally getting shot at many times, but nobody knows about it because the dust has been suppressing them. But when we get them close together, like what we're getting off the MDR right now, and a little bit further southern, then we could potentially have a problem. Now, right now, all the deterministic models is going back to this phase again. By August 2nd, August 3rd, the tropical wave will be very weak, a group of disorganized thunderstorms trying to become a tropical depression, then weakening back down again, dealing with the dust, why something could form off the coast and go towards the northeast, and maybe try and form up after that along the southeast. See how we get a little bit more intensification. This one's by the Canadian model, but all these models are showing either less or equivalent of this. And just like this morning, the Euro showed a lot of intensification. Now it's showing weakness again. It's going to go back and forth because of this dust. Now you can see the latest look with the European, showing that tropical wave will be a further towards the north as it comes towards August 3rd, August 4th, getting pushed around that high pressure, showing it will retract back and allow this to go north. But then it starts expanding a little bit, and it really gets caught in that trough of that front. Now I would be putting a lot of shear on it, and that would hurt it if it was way up here, while we have that second wave coming towards the Lesser Antilles by August 9th. And that's the one that we need to watch for. That one could be a big problem. So let's go over some of the data, everyone. And the latest on our potential velocity anomaly, you can see here with the European, showing all this favorable environment all the way to August 6th. Now this one shows a little plume of dust out here in the MDR, but you can see how it strengthens later when it gets away from it. So all the way towards August 6th, we have a lot of favorable environment, and all it takes is a moment where this storm can strengthen a little bit away from that dust, come a little southern off the MDR, and if it's able to breathe, it can combat that dust. You can ask any meteorologist out there. Now, at the same time, you can see all this sinking air that usually propagates towards the east, and it comes right into our region later on, and we feel it later. You can also see the update with GFS. It is starting to get a trend now that we can see that we do have a lot of favorable environment, maybe towards 8th and 10th, but we do have pockets of sinking air, unfavorable environment rolling through like the European is seeing. Also some favorable environment going to the Eastern Pacific right there. And we can confirm this by looking at Africa and seeing that all this dust that's about to come off of Africa is still going to keep coming off of Africa into our MDR all the way towards the 6th, towards the 7th or more of August. So we still have this dust sticking around that's a little unusually long. Usually it starts leaving by August, the shear goes down, and all these storms can start strengthening. In fact, when you look at the latest with the European long range, you can see that favorable environment all the way towards the 6th. Then you see all the sinking air all the way towards the 10th of September. Now, don't take this as law, everybody, because we've seen this many times before, right before Beryl showed. I will show you. And plus, way down the road down here, this is still way down the road. This could flip-flop and change. If you look, you're getting a lot of favorable environment coming off of the coast of Africa that could propagate our way, everyone. Not to mention all these spots of favorable environment that this system could tap into as it comes through this, if this don't change and it stays in this unfavorable environment, which again usually changes when it's very far away. So take a look at this shot here, because we've seen this before exactly 1 year ago. Never mind the guy behind me, but you can see the shot here. Look at this. This was just a couple of days before Beryl has formed. Look at the next day. Still showing a lot of sinking air with the same thing. Pockets in there. You see that? Look at this. A big pocket of sinking air that came through. The next day, Beryl formed, everybody. So don't be fooled by what you see on the MJO right now, especially a long range, because that could dramatically change. We have seen it many times before. And it only takes just one to ruin a lot of lives, everybody. Now look right here. You can see that we normally get our uptick in the beginning of August. Usually we get an uptick, but once we go to the very beginning of September, we get a big uptick. This is our peak. So I believe there is no way that we're going to have sinking air all the way through August and through the first half of September. I think it's historically impossible. In fact, usually in August, we see some kind of formation coming into this direction, maybe going in this direction as well. And as we go from August to September, that scenario grows, everybody. And just to show what I'm talking about, it only takes this one. When you look at the control member for the Euro, the same forecast that showed all that sinking air with all those little pockets of favorable environment, lift in the atmosphere. Look at here. Showing that it only takes just one. Anytime from now all the way to early September, we could possibly get a strengthening storm coming right along this path. This is what it's seeing right now for the middle of August. Now, I'm not saying this will happen neither, but I'm just saying it only takes just one, everybody. Do not let your guard down. Do not let people tell you there's a whole bunch of sinking air. Do not worry about it. I've been there before. I told you last year, showed you those same pictures. We're on a break. The tropics are closed. Then I got to come here and tell you about Beryl. How embarrassing. But showing way down the road, eventually one of these waves could catch a snag, grow up a little southern coming off of Africa. This one shows around the 16th and 17th of August. And that could come all the way across to MDR, finally start breathing good, strengthening, and going right on that path, everyone. It only takes just one. And this one shows a strong one coming out to northeast later as well. So now you know what I'm looking at, everyone. Now you know the update. We have a 20% outlook now for that tropical wave. And you know what I think we need to watch is especially the second one. Do not take your eyes off the tropics, everyone. The tropics are not closed. Now, before I go, some quick words from our Father, everyone. Luke 21:34 through 36. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. Amen. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. I just can't wait to see what tomorrow brings. I think any day now we're going to see a light switch turned on, and there's going to be multiple problems forming up. I do not believe that we're going to be quiet towards the middle of September all the way from now. Above all things, all glory does go to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I always hope he keeps you safe every single day of your life and forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Have a great night, everyone. Be safe if you're in these storms.